What's up, Adam? Welcome to the #1 podcast in Riverside. I don't know if that's true or not, but I always say it, so hopefully it is true.
If you believe it, then it's true.
I think I might be the only one, so that's why I am #1.
This is true.
That's true. That's true. This show is sponsored by Resilient Real Estate Group, powered by EXP. So, you're thinking about buying and selling soon? Yes, we know you probably know a realtor, your mom's best friend's cousin's neighbor, puts her face on the local shopping cart. But you know what? Our friends at Resilient Real Estate Group have helped hundreds of thousands of people sell houses over the years, and they definitely know what they're doing based on their 5-star review on Google and Zillow. So it doesn't matter if you're looking to buy $1 million house or a fixer-upper, make sure the next time you're thinking about buying and selling real estate, you give our friends a call over at Resilient Real Estate Group. And now we're back to the show. What's going on, man? This is your third time on.
Third time's going to be a charm.
Bro, we did Cool Places with Cool People at your place.
Yep.
Then you went to the old location. You're the first person that's been on all three sets.
All locations.
Yeah,
OG
man.
stuff.
How you been, dude?
I've been well, man. I'm feet above ground. Health is good. Family's well. I can't complain.
Good, man. Good, man. Dude, like, I'll tell you what, it's funny is I still, obviously there's tons of gyms out there.
Yes.
But I feel like no gym is like your gym.
Agree. I think I've
there's
been
a
around
lot
for
out
some
there.
of them. There are.
But I just don't feel like it's the same vibe or the same whatever that
For
you
sure.
got. And maybe you're just like been doing it longer, so you kind of more of the OGs.
I don't even know where it comes from. But I have been kind of bouncing around and like checking other gyms out and other facilities out just to kind of take note of the
What's coming
competition.
up.
You know what I'm saying? And I think something that we keep at heart is just the homeliness of our space. You know, it's not an intimidating place. The coaches are all like, we work with a slew of different populations.
You don't have people in there just slamming.
So they're
weights.
just not like
no one's in there.
It's not a type gym.
Yeah.
It's a very. I mean, we don't get it twisted. Like cats work and we grind a little bit, but there's also this respect of movement quality. So if you're not doing something with great quality, then we don't really want it.
Yeah, well, you have every coach you have there just kind of brings something different.
Yes.
So it's like if you're just looking for mobility, if you're looking for lifting heavy, if you're looking for more speed work, you kind of have every type of person there.
It's all touched, absolutely, and I think that has created a really really neat vibe as well. Just from it, they all can do so many different things very well. But they also are confident in the thing that they do really well. Nobody else really does it like them.
Yeah.
And
it's awesome that they kind of all like, this is what I do.
Yes.
And that's what you do.
Yes.
And that's what you do.
And
let's
the
not
cross training of it all.
Yeah.
And,
like you're gonna go to this guy if you want to
Yes.
do that. Now I'm not gonna try to teach you that because that's not what I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that has been the coolest thing that I see. So I still trip out when I walk in on Fridays. I'm just like, damn, I can't believe that this place is like, it's filled with this type of energy. And,
what year are you at now in that spot?
This
new one. The spot.
So we got there 2019, so this is year 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude. Can you ever imagine going from the barn in your backyard to this now?
This really just brought a neat perspective, because 2016 was when we started this thing. So this is 8 years, you know, and a long time ago somebody told me like, you got to be willing to put in like a solid 10 years of work before you start.
I treat it like an internship.
Yeah. And so that's wild that you just brought that up, because here it is, you know, year 8. And what my coaching looks like, what my role in this thing looks like, and what we want it to be eventually is, I couldn't have even began to think of like what it would have. This is where I'm at now. Yeah, pretty damn wild. 8 years.
Yeah, it's also weird because like in our heads we're always like, I gotta be doing this better, and I gotta be doing that better, and I gotta be doing this better, and then you're like, well, I'm here.
Yes.
So it is working.
Correct.
So it's like more like small changes, like.
And that I think that is where I'm at with this deal. You know, my kids are juniors in high school. Okay, they've got aspirations to attend college and play. I want to be able to witness that. You know what I mean? Like my kids have seen me put countless hours into other athletes and their development. So when it comes their time, like I want to be.
Yeah, you don't miss out on those moments,
stuff, right? So I love that my clientele, for one, is appreciative of that, and they understand. Like when I've got, like, for example, Tuesday, Thursdays right now, aerial practices. I pick her up right from school, and we are jetting right over to volleyball. She's there till 7 o'clock. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to bounce back and forth from San Bernardino, so I'm going to just stay out there. And my first session is not until 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So But they respect that. I want to feel that, and that's where I got to kind of get better at using some of the resources that I have available to me. I've got really, really cool coaches and interns of sorts that are willing to help. I just need to say, yo, check it out. Can you help me out?
Yeah.
And that's been one of the toughest parts for me, is really saying, like, dude, I need some freaking help. Can you help me out?
Yeah, well, time just gets so limited.
Yes.
Like, it's just, that's the hard part, is like you have to expand and delegate because you run out of time in the day. It's just impossible to keep up.
You don't have enough, right? And I try to keep a steady set of hours throughout the week, just to kind of make sure we're hitting the numbers that we need to. But even from a business side of things, like learning, okay, well, here's, if we go out and we touch base at these schools, well, that's just one exposure. What do I do to like bring this person in and have them be like a paying client?
Yeah.
And what does their life look like? I didn't give a damn about any of this stuff when I started.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So like learning this stuff over time, associated myself. So we became a part of Universal Speed Rating. So Les Spellman, really, really awesome folks. They have started this cohort of coaches and facilities that are speed labs. So they have taught a whole lot of good stuff and share a slew of things that other coaches are doing well, and how they're bringing, whether it's in Idaho, Miami, New York, Kansas City, like everybody gets to come together and talk about like what are some good business practices that have helped you bring kids in, get results, share the results, and do so over and over and over again. And the more I've kind of refined this process, now it doesn't need to be Adam always doing the damn training.
Well, that's where I feel like we're like in our careers, we're both 8 years in.
Yes.
And we're both at that point where I'm like, it's hard because in my space, most people are just themselves.
Yes.
They're a single agent. They have one deal going at a time. They don't do anything like this.
Yes.
So like, I'm like, in our opening, do not call or text Adam directly. Email us, because my assistants are in my emails.
Yes.
So they'll call me, and I'll be doing this for an hour, and then I'll have to jump off, and then I have another one after this. So then it's like, I'm like, I don't need to be involved in everything. Like, my team is better than me at all of this. We got this, dude. And that's something we have to, we do a really good job of explaining to our clients. Like, hey, you're with a group. It's not just me. And if this person is talking to you about something, they've talked to me about it. I just might not be able to jump on the phone right now.
Correct. And that's, I think that's huge. And it's something is I'm continuing to try to assemble a team that is at the forefront, right? Like, all of these people are super qualified. All of these people know exactly what they need to be doing. And more so, like, I trust that you can make the proper decisions because you know.
Yeah, you know the baseline.
You know what I mean?
I remember one guy's like, will that person do it 100% as good as I will? No, but if they do it 85,
then
that's good enough.
That's absolutely
that's
all good.
honestly the good enough.
And I look at it like this. So as we kind of, my demographic is youth athletes. So a lot of these kids
Which is
don't
such
need,
a smart move.
It was
I hope you know.
Money.
It
was money.
Such a smart
like that.
idea.
That is definitely. I love working with the kids that I get to work with.
It is
every
just
day.
such a.
It's
They have
so
less.
good.
They're such a good move.
Yeah.
I don't know if you intentionally did that, but it's such a good move.
It was. I knew that's what I wanted to get to. Obviously, you want to work with the high level pro athletes as well, but the way we earn pro athletes as coaches is you build them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, is every athlete I touch going to turn pro? Absolutely not. But maybe I get a handful. You know what I mean? And that's perfectly fine for me. But going back to the demographic of kids we work with, like, I don't need them to be doing a whole bunch of just crazy sports specific stuff, right? Like, I think being able to delegate over to, I call them our little grassy knoll kids, is like, we need to teach these kids how to somersault, how to roll, how to flip, how to just very, very basic movement patterns. So that can really not, if they fall over on a grassy knoll, you're good. But our pros and our professional athletes that need the super intricate details, they're up on the crag. Okay, like if we're programming the wrong stuff and that's one slip and fall, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Versus the grassy knoll, like, you really can't do any wrong if you love on that kid and you like are getting that kid to try hard and giving them positive encouragement that gets them to want to come back again. You're winning. I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
There's so many other people that can do that same thing. And it's been really one of the toughest things for me moving is everybody wants me to be their trainer,
Yeah.
and I can't do every freaking client. I got to be able to.
Well, and
delegate
it's
some of this
hard
stuff.
because it's like, if you want me to succeed sooner or later, I can't be involved.
Yes.
And that's like the hardest part. It's like, oh, I want to talk to Adam. It's like, you can't. Like, I'm just too busy.
Yeah.
And then you do lose. You know, I tell people that all the time. I'm very honest when I meet with clients. I'm like, hey, if you're looking for a guy that you can call 24/7 and you're always going to get me, not your guy.
I'm not the one.
I'm not your guy. And if that's what you need and that's what you're looking for, cool.
Yeah.
No problem.
There's somebody out there that
I can give you a name.
Yeah. There's somebody out there.
And but their experience won't be on our level.
Correct.
And that's why they
And that's why they can give you all of this time.
Yeah, because that's all they're doing.
Because you're their sole
provider.
client.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
So I think as we kind of start earlier in the career, we did provide those
You have to.
services because
That's what we got us here.
Like that's where how you get here.
You didn't have the money.
I didn't have.
You don't have the money to hire people.
Correct. You got to do all of it. You do 1,000 things.
You do 1,000 things.
Yes.
And that's why people fail. That's why the companies don't work out. It's because they're not good at a lot of things.
Yes.
And so they're like trying to do everything and they just don't make it.
Yeah. And I think that's where I've tried to kind of take a little bit of time and say, look, this is what I'm really good at. This is what I like to do. This is what I want to do more of.
Mm-hmm.
I need some of these other facets to be manned by other people that are better at, planning and executing and getting stuff. Like I have 1,000 ideas, but how do we get these things off the floor? Like I need the team.
Yeah. There's a book we follow called Traction, and they do what's called rocks. So you meet once a quarter, and like everyone has like a rock.
Got it.
And like that's their thing to get done in the next 90 days.
Okay.
So it has to be big items. It has to be something that moves the needle. It can't be like, I don't know, create an email signature like that can be done in one day. But like things that are like right now is like building our onboarding for agents.
Got it.
Like how does the first 90 days look for that agent when they join us? And we want to make it like the most badass 90 days ever.
For sure.
Where they're getting a paycheck in that first 90 days.
Awesome.
That takes time.
And that does.
It takes trial and error.
There's a routine.
What
There's
systems
some
are we
stuff
going to
that's
use?
work. There's some stuff that's not going to work.
Yeah, what do we want to add? What do we want to take out?
Absolutely.
What can we actually give them? What can we not give them? So that's something that we're working on currently. Well, I'm not. Someone else is. That's their job.
But it was your idea.
It was our idea, yeah. So
your idea.
that's the way you have to do it, is just break it down in 90 days. Because if not, there's always something you could be doing.
Absolutely so. And as we kind of start getting to these, like I said, we're trying to do this ID Speed Summit thing. First real like collaborative effort I've ever done with like another coach and facility. But trying to take some of this stuff that I've been implementing and using and capitalize off of his network. You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily want to train your kids per se, but if I can get an exposure to your kids and offer, our methodology. Okay, when we run these tests, okay, this split time means we yielded this velocity. Okay, well, now we can start playing with numbers, and kids love knowing exactly how fast they are. And if we can create this competition from
speed is so big.
It's big in all sports, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you don't even play sport. I want to open this up to general population kids.
I think speed is very important. Like speed solves everything.
It does.
Like you right now, I'm 36, and like I play golf, and like we're doing speed work.
Yes.
To work on our twitch muscles to swing faster.
So you can swing faster.
Yeah. It's speed will always.
Yeah.
And the only reason you start getting bad is your speed starts slowing down.
Correct.
It's all, you got to keep your speed
up.
up.
And I think the more people jump and do fast stuff, your body, it stays young, right? Like when you lose these qualities of, being quote unquote athletic, most oftentimes it's because you stopped moving fast.
Yeah.
You stopped having that like neurological demand that said, I need you to be quick as hell.
What does the stats say that's like after the age of like 30, like 10% of people will ever sprint again or something like that?
I don't know, but
there's a
I
stat out
believe
there. I've heard it, and it's like,
somebody help us find that.
Yeah, find like, where's Adrian at? God damn. So like, I think it's over age 30, like less than 10% of people will ever sprint again.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
That
I have a buddy of mine
so
who's a
wild.
trainer, and he turns 30 in July, and he wants to run a 444.
4.40.
Yeah, that's what he wants to run. So he's like doing
That's
all
fast.
this. He's doing all the speed work.
Yeah,
like
that's fast.
he's like, I'm turning 30 this year.
Yes.
I'm running a fast 40.
Okay.
It might be the last.
Well,
time I
when
run
he's ready to do it, I want to see what his mile per hour is too. So
he's
clocked
doing
that
all
too.
this stuff. Like
Yeah.
But because I think most people start going into like when they get older, they get like half marathons, Less people are sprinting.
They don't want to do the fast twitchy stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like continuing to jump high and like land off of high objects. That's so big. And it's a really, really awesome quality to kind of maintain
going.
and keep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it doesn't got to be crazy. You could do it once a week. and you're good.
A few sprints, a few little speed work.
That's it. And keep it going. You know, like that has been how it's evolved, right? Like I used to do some crazy stuff with kids 5 years ago, right? Now I've learned some stuff that says, look, this is the way you need to kind of go about these things. And I love that my clients have allowed me to kind of grow. And,
it's always changing.
Yeah. You know what I mean? They allow it to. And I think they have always known what I've done at the present time was the best tool that I could kind of have at that particular time.
You just don't know. It's like stuff comes out and everyone thought that was really good and then it isn't. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, cool. Now everyone's going to do it that way. I mean,
there's trends and there's stuff
weightlifting stuff in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, you know, you got to go lift for 12 hours a day. And then,
and
it was like Mike Metzger was like, oh, you should train 40 minutes tops. Like, and it's like,
Straight
okay,
up.
which one? It's just everyone's so different.
Yeah, I think whatever works well for your life and not so absolute of terms. Our goal, and I think that's another part that makes our facility special, is all of the coaches understand that this is like educational in the sense that you have to implement this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we can only coach you so far, but like if you don't give a damn enough to make this something that you want to do all the time, then you're going to miss out on the benefits of this being like a long-term change in your life.
You're just going to maintain.
Yeah.
Because I think the moment you get like too far, right, it is very hard to come back.
Yes.
You know, if you start getting, like right now, I think I'm like 30 pounds overweight. And people look at me like, no, you're not. I'm like, bro, when I was like in really good shape.
You
I was shredded.
From a very.
I was shredded.
Yeah, you were
and so I'm like,
wilding out.
So I'm like, dang, dude, I'm like 30 pounds. And it's like really hard to like get it down.
Yeah.
Like, because it's just like, you don't move as like everything kind of hurts
It
a little
hurts
bit
a
more.
little more.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
it
you're like
does.
running, you're a little bit more heavy, you're not as strong, so it's not as motivating. So it's like if you could just maintain it,
correct,
and just not like you
go
don't need
the other way or go another.
Just stay in the middle.
Just stay what works. And one of my homeboys that I played with, so Kev, big time bodybuilder. And I was kind of like just meh in my training too. So I was like, let me get something to kind of just spice this up a little bit. I had never, ever in my life tracked a freaking macro.
Oh, really?
Ever. Okay. So Kev gives me this this meal plan. And it's all like, I'm telling you, Adam, I've never, ever
you never tracked?
anything.
Nothing.
Nothing. So he gives me this sheet, and it's like, it's kind of, I can pick and choose whatever the hell I want, you know, but here's meal one, here's meal two, here's this, and I'm looking at all this stuff. I'm like, dude, and this, so in May's world, this is her
like game.
Game.
So she measures?
She loves it. Oh, she is.
Yeah.
She competed, did the whole, bikini stuff. So she, like nutrition plans are her thing.
Yeah.
And I wake up like gung ho, ready to go, and I look at the sheet. I'm like, what can I eat? I don't even know how to read this damn thing. Right?
Yeah.
How much am I supposed to measure? What does this equal? What the heck is all this stuff? So I email Kev back, and I'm like, dude, I think you just need to tell me exactly what to eat.
Yeah.
Like this option stuff is not going to work. So tell me exactly what I need to eat, when I need to eat it, what's meal one, what's meal 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. So I dive into this thing, and I'm hitting everything. I'm consuming probably like 205 grams of protein a day. And it was hard. Like I had no idea how hard that was, right? So I'm like, sheesh, this is like crazy. But every day I got to step on the scale. I got to send him a week picture. Mm-hmm. And like, dude, I train all the time. Like I literally train all the time. And to see like how my body changed in those 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, I was like, okay, like I need all of my kids to really understand
what you're eating.
Yes,
dude.
And if it's anything, that protein number
has to be.
Dude,
it has to be.
Most
people do not process. Number. They do not hit protein.
Like you would sucks.
Think. Yeah, it sucks. No one likes eating chicken.
It sucks.
Like it
tastes terrible. Like I don't give a damn what you put on it. Like there was one meal I had, bro. 510 grams of Greek yogurt.
Oh, I do that all the time. Oh, I love it.
Like,
dude, my jam is Greek yogurt and the healthier chocolate syrup.
Okay.
Dude, I could eat that every single,
Mine was Greek yogurt, peanut butter, and 100 grams of blueberries.
Dude, I'm telling you. You go and get that.
I smash it now, but it's like, dude, that was
I use that chocolate
meal.
syrup. That's my jam. 35. It's like fat free, 35% or something.
Non-negotiables for me was like, I need to have butter. Okay, like I gotta have my Kerrygold butter. So I got basically I do like 5 grams in my eggs, and then like another 10 grams on a piece of toast.
Are you like a fat guy or you're a carb guy?
I'm
like
a
your
carb
fat
dude.
Oh, me too. I can go like 50 grams fat.
Yeah, I'm a carb dude.
I like carbs.
You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me.
So then this kind of had me dive a little bit deeper into like how my body uses fuel and whatnot. So I went and did this VO2 stuff, shameless plug for Body Metrics. Awesome folks out in Redlands. And they put me through this battery of tests to show me how my body utilizes each of the fuel sources.
Oh, really?
So as soon as my body or my heart rate goes over 81, my body is using nothing but carbs.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. So that literally, when I'm walking around at work coaching, my heart rate is already over 81. Like sitting here right now, probably.
So you're burning just straight carbs.
Boom, right then. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's why I can get away with, because I crave them.
I just like how I feel when I'm on carb. I hate when I feel I'm doing keto.
Yes.
I've done it both. I say this, the best advice for anyone is just do intermittent fasting.
Yes.
If you do not want to measure, you don't want to choose, just eat one meal a day.
Yeah, it's tough.
And make sure it's heavy protein.
Yeah, that's the part, right? Because when people are so deprived of a meal, the number one thing they want to run to is a whole bunch of carbs.
Yeah.
You know, or a whole bunch of stuff that tastes good.
Yeah.
And so that's not protein.
Well, especially a lot of people go a lot heavy carbs, heavy fats at the same time.
Yeah.
The problem is people don't know I'm fat right now, but I know how this all works. So like what people don't understand is like when you take in carbs, your insulin spikes in your body, and then that exits you out of fat burning zones. So then you're then eating tons of carbs and tons of fats together. Your carbs are stopping your body from burning fat.
Yeah,
your
body,
your fat just goes straight to your fat cells very quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm not as crazy as Zach wants to be. That's my trainer.
Yes.
He wants me to be like, no fats in this meal, only fats. I'm like, dude, that's ridiculous. But it's when you start processing how it works and knowing how much stuff is and how many calories it is. And
correct. I think that's
and how each body, like I got to be down to like, if I want to lose weight, I got to be down to like 2,300 calories. Like 25, I'm like, I don't lose weight at 2,500. 23,
it's not drastic
22,
enough.
It's not enough. And that's me doing cardio and me lifting and whatever.
Yes. It's tough. Like I had no idea how hard that was.
I'll just hop back on drugs.
But it was.
I'm not gonna lie. I just do drugs.
It helps, I mean, that's the quick way to do it.
You know what? I don't even know. I think nowadays, if you do them responsibly, if you're over the age of 35, and you do it with like a doctor and whatever, and like it's very responsible. You just have to realize what you're getting yourself into.
Absolutely.
If you're 18 and you're throwing down D-ball, you're an idiot.
That's just not smart.
It's not smart.
Yeah,
but like, I think workout drugs should be way more available to older people, because obesity is obviously killing us.
It's a thing.
So it's like if you could just figure out ways to like.
And they're slanging Ozempic out here. Like,
oh my God! Like it's nobody's business. Like it's like
no problem.
But
you know
like
what I mean?
I can't get a testosterone shot, but you
Correct.
want me to throw that in me?
But I can chew on Ozempic like Skittles.
Yeah, right.
So that I agree that some of this stuff is really. It's just it's backwards with regards to like what it's actually trying to promote, right? Like if we want to be healthy and we want to be well, like let's encourage the process of obtaining muscle or changing body composition, as opposed to just I'm going to eat something and then it happens, right? I think that's
well, just even think about when we were kids, the food table. You know, carbs was like the highest at the bottom. Now we realize it should have been protein at the bottom.
Correct.
And then but they just didn't. That's what they thought.
Nobody knew.
No one knew.
Nobody knew.
They just had to test it out. Yeah.
Yes. And had enough of a sample to figure it out.
Yeah, but I think it's just tough. Like the hard part nowadays, it's just so hard to eat healthy. It's so like when you truly want to do it, like it is like a full life change. And it's like, I gotta bring my meals, or I have to go to a place, or
Like
there's no driving through a fast food joint.
Yeah, you definitely had to. We prepped, which
I hate
was
prepping,
really crazy because I love to cook. Like I don't mind cooking food. It was, but just the amount of food that like I had to consume on a day-to-day basis. And if I'm cooking, then I was gonna do it for everybody. So like Ariel has her meals and May has her meals. And I'm like, okay, well, how else are we supposed to do this? Like you can't really eat out. If
No,
you
you
eat
can't.
out,
You're done.
Then
You're done.
Like I can't account for the stuff that they put
in it. You don't know how much butter and fat's in it.
Yeah,
so if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna, I used to, when I was trying to get shredded, if I was gonna eat out, I just didn't eat the whole day. So like if I knew like we're going out to dinner tonight, it was like I would be like, okay, well, I'm not eating breakfast. I'm not going to eat lunch. I'll have a snack, and then I'll eat there.
Yep.
And at least my calories are going to be like
where they're supposed to be.
not going to go over. I'm not going to hit my macros for the day.
Macros, but
at least the calories are the same.
So I would so my meal was always going out to, like, if I'm going to go eat out, I'm going to Flame Broiler.
Yep.
And I'm getting naked chicken, and I'll get the little red sauces. The other one that I would do is downtown here at Fufu's. That's another one that was like I would just get their little shawarma bowl. So most oftentimes it would probably be like Mediterranean, where I'm getting some rice, I'm getting some protein.
But the hard part with Flame is because I would eat Flame every day.
Expensive as
None of that, but their rice levels are so high that you have to like consciously. So I'd go double meat.
Yes, and do a mini bowl.
Double meat mini bowl because the rice is. Because I would weigh everything out. So I'd weigh it all out, and I'd be like, damn, like this is like 14 ounces of rice in this thing. I can't eat all this.
Yeah. Luckily, I'm a little.
But
heavier.
you move a lot.
Yeah, and
you're a bigger guy.
I'm grooving. So I was like at 33.75 on training days, and non-training days I was at like 27.
That's not bad.
No, but I dropped down to like 9%.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're athletic,
crazy, dude. I
you
never,
have good genetics.
ever that too.
Yeah, you have good genetics.
But it was just nuts, and so I really started harping on all the kids because I'm like, dude, I had no idea that it would like change that drastically.
Much, yeah.
You know what I mean? I just never.
Well, because you can get away with it when you're young. You can eat cereal, you can eat this.
Yeah.
Like you don't even care.
Yes. But if we can teach these habits, and just even getting parents, right? Like, so a lot of parents come to me and they want their kids to be faster all the time. Be faster, be faster, be faster. I need my kid stronger. I need my kid to move better. Da-da-da-da-da. But it's like the lowest hanging fruit is what they consume, what they drink, and how they sleep. If we're not doing these things right, and I don't think the parents come in and say like, oh, I'm going to just, purposely make sure my kid doesn't sleep or eat enough.
Yeah.
They just don't have a damn clue.
Or because they don't eat that way.
They don't.
No.
They definitely
like
don't.
my dad's 65 and he's trying to get in shape, and he's always been in the gym. He just struggles with weight. I'm like, Dad, if you're not counting what you're eating,
you're
have
done.
No
clue.
You have.
Yeah.
I was like, you for sure don't eat. I was like, I've been with you for breakfast. You don't hit your proteins 100%. You taking way too many carbs.
Yes.
I was like, you're not even close.
Yeah.
I go, and you're 6'4", 240. Like, you got to be getting 250 grams of protein a day. You're not even coming close to that.
Like, literally, that's what
And he
I ask
overtrains.
everybody. I say, look, you have to, like, I don't give a damn about carbs. I don't give a damn about fats. If you can hit protein,
you'll be okay.
You will change your body.
Because you're not going to, you can't eat that much.
Yeah.
No.
If you hit that, then you're not going to want the carbs. You're not going to want the fat. Like, if you hit that one first, it was like, oh, okay, this is... Yeah, it was
it's
really,
game changer, dude.
It was a task, and I wouldn't say I'm as strict on it, but I definitely it changes like how we go about just eating. I love that my kids are like we always eat like in. We don't really eat out.
Yeah.
Before that was like a staple. We'd be at freaking Chick-fil-A. We'd be at Chipotle like every damn day, to the point that it was detrimental. So learning how to cook and learning how to master the kitchen. Has been like that is the real health, you know what I mean, is cooking and doing what you need to be doing
at the home, because it's just it's your fuel source.
It is.
If you're all like, I haven't been taking in a lot of caffeine anymore.
Me either.
My girl's like, dude, you don't barely ever drink coffee with me in the morning. I'm like, I'm just not. I was like, I don't need it. I was like, I'm not tired. I don't need it to wake up my day.
Yeah.
I would just do it because I like the taste of coffee.
Yes.
And I was like, so I'm like, okay, Am I overstimulating my caffeine? Like,
That's
so I'm
so
trying to
funny that you
like
say that.
work. My hair problem is like I'll go get gas and then I'll like walk in and grab. I really like the sugar-free Monsters.
Okay.
And it's always like 3 for $5 or whatever. So then I buy
grab
3.
'em. Uh-huh.
And then
I gotta get the
my
deal.
my car has a cooler in the middle. My no milk Monster's a cooler.
All right.
And so I just put them in there, and then I'm like cracking them open for no reason. Like I
Yes.
don't even want one. I'm like, oh, okay.
All right, cool.
And then
It
I'm
looks
like,
way better driving.
I know, right? I just like feel cool. You know what I mean? Like I feel like busy. It's the same
Yes.
thing right now. I need to cut out alcohol in my life right now.
Okay.
And but when I'm with places, I get not anxiety, but like everyone else is drinking.
Yes.
I love drinking at my country club.
Got it.
Probably my favorite thing to do in this world.
Okay.
Not gonna lie. Play golf, have a few cocktails, hang out with my friends.
There you go.
Love it when we're nice. And all my friends are 75 years old there. Love
There
it.
you go.
Love it.
Winning.
And it's wins, dude.
Winning.
I mean, the conversation is a little different. It's like prostate cancer talk, but it's awesome. Right?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right?
It does not
Doesn't
matter.
And but everyone's drinking, so now I'm like, okay, obviously don't have self-control enough to just not drink anything. So
Yes.
like now I'm like, oh, give me a Diet Coke.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
so-
these little hacks you have to do.
You have to.
You're not strong
right?
enough.
It's
It's like I can't handle having ice cream in the house.
oof.
I freaking crush it, dude.
Me
I tell
too.
my girl all the time, do not buy any.
Yeah,
She's like,
don't
why? I'm
bring
like,
that.
I have no self-control. I will eat it.
Yes. Yes.
And then I come
love
home
my
after a few
sweets.
cocktails.
I love
then
my
I
candies.
will crush it. I
And,
love candy.
Like, and if you, like you said, if you're coming off of a fun
Little bender.
evening,
Yeah, you're gonna
then
keep going.
All of that stuff is going way down. But it's funny you bring up caffeine because I stopped drinking coffee. About probably like 7 months ago.
Just straight cold.
Stopped. And the guys were all on this like matcha green tea tip. So I was doing no caffeine whatsoever. And because I just felt like it was screwing up my sleep, man.
Oh,
I would
see, I don't have a problem sleeping, dude.
I would be up.
My girl drinks coffee right before bed.
No
and then I'm
way.
like, but then you struggle sleeping. I'm like, drink decaf.
I love coffee, like the same
Yeah.
reason. Like I love the taste of coffee. So I've heard that too, like to go the decaf route, and I'm just like,
It's not the same.
it's not the same.
Yeah.
So I started doing this matcha green tea, and that's what I have in the morning. Is I have a green tea in the morning, the same tired ass breakfast every day, like.
Dude.
But the tea has been,
Little add-on.
I've liked
Yeah.
the change. You know what I mean? So I don't have the afternoon pick me up. I don't have the crash.
Yeah.
Like I train usually. I'm going to train at like 11:30.
See, I want to go to midday training.
Yeah, like
midday
that's a
training.
must for me.
I hate training in the morning. I hate lifting early in the morning.
So
I
I
feel
don't
so
lift.
weak.
I have clients in the morning, but I don't lift in the morning. I can't do that.
I feel so weak.
Yeah,
I am not motivated to be there at like.
No.
We were going at like
6.
5 in the morning.
No.
And I like go in there and my girl's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna do cardio. She's like, why? I'm like, I just can't move weight around.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not awake yet.
This
like
is not a time for me to be aggressive and
yeah.
powerful.
Well, and that's what I tell her. I'm like, you're lifting like 5-10 pound weights. I'm like trying to throw like 60s and 70s. Like
Yes.
I got to be like
I gotta
in.
kind of be into this.
Yeah, like if I'm not in and I throw it the wrong way, like then I'm
That's
hurt.
bad.
Yeah.
There's uber consequences as a result of that. So my training regimen is
Midday
like,
is the best day.
I go like 11:30 to like 12:30, 1 o'clock is that's kind of my deal.
Dude, I love midday.
I want one meal in my body.
Me too.
I don't want to be like 2 meals in because
No.
I'll feel gross. So learning all those things I think is important, right? Like even
you gotta
just-
feel what works for you.
Yeah, you have to. You know what I mean? And I've worked with a few more like personal training clients this year, and so figuring that type of stuff out, right? Like it's not always the same. Like I have a different schedule. These people have different
Yeah.
schedules. They've got different shit in their life. Like it's you got to figure out what works for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a one.
It's not a
stop
one-pick
shop.
training.
Mhm,
I will
absolutely.
say I had a coming to Jesus moment, whatever you want to say it, the other day, and I was like, I finally have come to terms that choice is the devil.
Yeah.
Like I was sitting there with my girl, we were going to the movies, and I was just like, man, you know what I think come terms? She's like, what's that? I was like, choice is just the devil.
Yeah.
And she's like, what do you mean by that? I go, take anything. Take this where we're eating right now, food. We're having pizza.
Yeah.
And I was like, we could have gone to a healthier choice, but this sounded great.
Yeah. I wanted this.
I wanted this.
I want
But if
this
I
now.
had no other choice, I would have taken the healthy choice.
Yeah.
But I had choice, so I took the
So I
non-healthy
took
one.
the
I was like, same thing in
ladder.
like relationships. I'm like, you start realizing, oh, well, maybe I have some choices. Then you start looking other places.
yeah.
And I was like, if you had no other choice, you'd be like, okay, this is my partner.
Yep.
This is who I'm with. This
Yep.
is who I'm married, whatever. And so that's like, I've come to terms. Like, I think humans are not good at making choices.
No.
And so if you can symbolize it, like you just said, I eat the same when people go, like my girl, when I was shredded, I was single, and she goes, it was really messed up. And I go, why is that? She's like, you're single, shredded. Now, not so much. And I go, well, babe, I said, let me give you some advice. I said, when you only have to worry about yourself and
so
consuming
much
your own
easier.
food,
Yeah.
and I'm not worried what you're eating, and I'm not worried what the kids are eating, and I'm not worried about this, and I'm not worried about taking you on date night. I'm not worried about any of this, and all I do is wake up, train, eat the same thing every day.
Uh-huh.
And I just train and eat, and that's all I do. It's very easy.
Yeah.
I said, I'll see you in 6 months if you want to
Yeah.
give me a 6-month break.
Yeah,
I get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Because it's true. Like, I got to figure out what you're eating. And that, she just
It's
texts
hard.
me. She's meal prepping right now. She just texts me the recipe for the day.
Yes.
But it's like, choice is the devil. I've come to terms. That's the devil.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard,
It
dude.
definitely it requires strict discipline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's strict discipline, and always like we want that instant gratification. That's
Mm-hmm.
just kind of a thing that's become apparent in society these days, is we want stuff like
Right now.
immediately.
Yeah.
And wellness and fitness and all of that stuff. I mean, even just I'll speak on my own, like just mental health battle, right? Like that was something that like I had to show up and do a lot of work every
Yeah.
freaking week. Like I want a lot of problems to be gone yesterday.
Instantly, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it just don't work that way.
You did not
You know?
wake up like this today, and you will not get out of
But-
it in today.
Absolutely. But that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's been something that I've been a huge advocate for over the past, year and a half now too. Is like it's okay for us to not be in this hunky-dory glorious mood
Yeah.
every damn day.
Yeah.
Like even to the point of like when kids come in now, like I have them take a physical and mental readiness like questionnaire, because that's important to me. Like these kids are stressed the hell out, and they don't really have the skills, because I didn't have the skills as a 36-year-old, 37-year-old. I didn't have those skills. So like if we can impart these skills on how to cope and deal with stresses that we put on these kids well before I think you and I ever dealt with some of these stresses. I got to play sport. Dude.
Yeah.
Like these kids come in nowadays and they're like, they need to be low professionals. And
Well,
it's like,
you're
bro.
just comparing yourself against, everything now.
Yeah.
You
All the time. Like social media is jacked up. X is jacked up.
Yeah.
Like you never disconnect from, like you said, constantly comparing yourself to somebody else. And
and now the hard part is you don't even know what reality is anymore.
yes,
Like
it's so
you have
convoluted.
no idea
Yeah.
what reality is.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. Like even sometimes I have to be like, is that even real? Like, is that person's post real
Yeah.
or not?
Yeah.
Like, or is it like, it's like I feel like we're all magicians now.
Yep.
Like nothing is actually what you see. There's always some
There's some little okey doke behind it.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
backdoor action, something going on.
Yeah.
And even I have to remind myself that. And I look at, I'm not a big, heavy social media guy.
Yeah,
I'm on
and
and off real quick.
I've tried to kind of skew the lens in that regard as well. Like, why are we doing this? Like what are we posting for? Are we posting to glorify self?
Yeah.
Are we posting to glorify child, glorify facility, glorify technique?
What's the angle?
Like what do we
is
want
to get out of the
deal
post?
of this? Like what
Yeah.
do I want from this? You know what I'm saying? And kind of putting it through that lens has kind of been helpful.
Yeah.
To make sure that we're putting the right stuff out there. I've never been one of like, oh, it's all about me type deal. And so even that, like as we kind of sit here and go through some of the social media rearranging, it's like, okay, well, should we make this a page that glorifies the facility itself, so we can share about the Drews and the Albies and the Choys, and let them like be known that they are out of this place, and it's not just Animal House Fitness is Adam, right? Like that's hard to kind of step away from, but I think it would benefit, right? As I'm trying to get more coaches and build that space. Here's an avenue that I can be of more assistance to a coach. As you mentioned, your like 90-day onboarding process with your agents. The same is true, right? Like I want these people to come in and have a chance to be successful. Like what does that look like? Is there certain things that we should provide for them, give them? But it was all stuff that I never freaking thought about before.
Well, and then sometimes too, it's hard because it's like I'm different.
Yeah.
So like that's something we struggle with. Is like you can't do it the way I do it.
Yes.
Because like I'm me.
Yeah.
And I'm good at this.
Yes.
Not everyone's gonna be me.
And you can't actually.
I can't duplicate me.
Yeah.
It's like people that are like naturally fast and athletic.
Yeah.
Like my buddy Zach who trains me. He's just strong and he's athletic and he can front squat a lot of weight and he's this, and I'm like, bro, I'm not that person.
Yes.
Like I can't my hips don't move the way your hips move.
Yes,
like
yes,
how the
yes,
heck
yes.
do you, like, I'll never, what was his name? This guy named Blake. I met him in 2012. This dude is just a freak athlete. Like not 6 foot, probably like 5'11" white dude. He could front squat 405. He could double under 1,000,000 times in a row. He could backflip, front flip. He was just that guy. He was CrossFit 24/7. He was just that guy.
Yep.
And I'm like, God dang.
Yeah.
Like I never will do that in my
That's
life.
not happening.
That's
just-
never.
that's
I'm
not my
never gonna
skill
front
set.
squat 405.
Yeah,
It's just
not my
not gonna
skill set.
happen. But he just had it.
Yep.
You know, it's just, that's why it's tough when you try to build stuff. It's like you have to build it for like the normal person,
Absolutely.
not the outstanding,
maniacal, crazy, like person that went out on a limb and said this is what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me.
So just finding processes, man, and really having insight that says this would help somebody.
Yeah.
I think that is kind of where I've found myself over the last, year and a half or so. It's like, how can I be a little bit more helpful to like my coaching colleagues, in a sense that I don't care if you know every damn secret. Like, as long as we have these kids like well-being in the forefront of what we're doing, I don't give a damn who does it. I just really don't. I just want to make sure that these babies have a chance to grow.
And that's a
be
check of the
successful.
ego.
Yeah.
You know, the brand is more important than the person.
Absolutely so.
Like for me, I tell people all the time, like I don't care if I'm the number one agent here.
Yes.
I would love for someone to be bigger than me. It would be awesome.
It would be great.
We'd all win.
Yep.
I'd make money. You'd make money.
We all would.
It would all be great.
Yep, we all
I don't
would.
need, you know what I mean? I don't need, if you want to start a podcast, what's awesome in Riverside? Sweet.
Yes.
We'll switch out the good,
We'll
but awesome.
move this.
Yeah. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like for me, it's just something that doesn't bother me because it's like, no one gives a shit.
Yes.
You know?
No, I
but the
get
hard
it.
part is egos always get into it.
They
and then
get way into
people's get in their ear and, you could, we could do so much more. I mean, I hear it all the time. When I'm, you could come to our company. We'd do so much more for you. You know how many times I've heard that and I go there and nothing happens. And I'm like, sweet, this was awesome.
Yes. Wasting my time.
Yeah, wasting my
Wasting
time.
my resources.
And it just delays
deflection.
me.
Yeah.
Goes back to choices.
Yeah.
The choices are
Choice
the
is
devil.
the devil.
Adrian, how was your lunch? Was it good? Okay, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go there then afterwards.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to go there.
No, it stank though, so I ate it in the car.
What's that?
It stank though, so I ate it in the car.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Adrian. Yeah, we're just all figuring this out as we go.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
So for you, man, like, you got the speed stuff coming up.
Yes.
What else you got coming up? I heard a podcast is in the work.
I think we need to really make this happen. We need to really make this happen. I want to just sit down. Like, I love talking. I think people will see that. I like to talk.
Mm-hmm.
The thing has been like, what the hell do I talk about? So
We just didn't. We're at an hour almost right now. You're doing perfectly fine.
I know. So it's like, what I want to do is probably just invite, like you said, our individual coaches that are just in the immediate deal.
Yeah.
But I've always been about like education. So figuring out how I can get some of these clients and just coaches, respective coaches, in a space to share about like what they do and how they do it. I think that would be absolutely phenomenal, and it'd be fun.
Yeah.
So
It breaks it up.
yeah, it does. Let's figure out how the heck we get this off the
Oh,
ground.
of course, no problem. That's what we do.
I definitely, I could use your your willingness to just go out on a limb.
I think
has been dope.
that's probably one of my biggest things. I really believe in speed.
Yeah.
So like how quickly you can get something done.
Yes.
Like let's just do it tomorrow.
I think just go.
Just do it. We'll figure
Yeah.
it out. Like we were talking before. Like Excellent. Right before this, we had Notre Dame High School on. They're
Yeah.
starting a podcast. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like, when are you guys
Come
going
on.
to start? Oh, we're going to start like late March. I'm like, why don't you just start next week?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we don't have a name and we don't have this yet. And I was like, just sit down and start going.
Yes.
And I said, and you'll figure it out.
Yes.
I was like, this name has changed 4 times. It
Yes.
doesn't matter. And they're like, really? So then I was like, all right, let's do a podcast right now. They're like, what? And I go, yeah, you're going to do your first one right now. They're like, okay.
Perfect.
And they did great.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah,
They
and
don't-
I think we got some interesting people that we can kind of talk with and just share about this industry. I think that's
Well, and it'll
that's
be
been the
good for your
funnest part.
athletes because they got to get good at talking to
They
the media.
do. They really do. I asked them to give me some reviews and just testimonials, and only one person did it.
Oh, I got on camera?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's something they don't understand. It's like when
Yeah.
if you want to go pro,
You got to talk.
or even if you go to a high college,
yeah, you got to.
you're going to have to talk.
Yeah.
The media is going to ask you questions.
a lot.
And you got to answer them even if you don't want to.
Yes,
So you got to know how to talk the right way
for sure.
and
For
not
sure.
upset people and say the things you want to say.
most of the time.
Well, unless you're like paid a lot of money,
Yeah.
and then you can get away with whatever
Then
you
you
want.
can kind of say whatever.
Do you want? But like most of them aren't. But like just the skill set of being able to like answer people's questions.
Yeah, I agree.
And like and on the spot, like
I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna tell kids. I'm gonna post this on my story here
Yeah.
in like 20 minutes.
yeah.
That what day should we do? Is
Yeah.
it open all the time around
Here?
here?
Yeah, sure. It don't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not here every other week, so
You're not here every other week.
yeah. So I'm gone
Look
for
at that.
yeah. I stay in Rancho, take care of my kids.
Look at you, man. Life is life.
I play golf. No. This place is free every week. Every other
Okay.
week, I'm not here.
Okay.
Yeah, or just borrow the mics.
Or I can just borrow the mics and
Yeah, I
just
don't
do
care.
it wherever.
Yeah,
Well,
Just-
what about all these cameras and stuff?
you just need one camera. This is overkill. This
Oh.
is just looking fancy.
I know. I like looking fancy.
No,
We
just
got LEDs.
Yeah, we got
all
the-
above.
all the color
I feel
lights
Like I'm
are-
getting tan.
yeah, I know. This is we're actually those are red lights. You're getting
I feel
healthier.
like I'm getting therapy right now.
yeah, yeah. No, just borrow the mics.
Okay.
Who cares?
That works
Take
too.
them.
I'll
I
do
don't
it.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bring them back next
Just
week.
bring it back.
Yeah, every week.
All right.
That's fine.
I'm doing it. We're gonna have microphones
That's
in the
fine.
freaking,
Who cares?
and we'll sit right there.
You know, that's something like I've always been like, I'm at a point now where it's so funny because people always ask me like, what is it? What's the trick? And I'm like, yeah, you guys all want to learn stupid scripts and bug people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, maybe just like give people stuff they need help with.
Yeah.
And that has no beneficial to yourself.
Correct.
Like I hate when agents are like, I helped 75 people. No, you got paid a service
Yes.
to do a job.
You did your job.
You did your job.
You did your
Congratulations.
job.
You got paid to do that.
Yeah.
You helped no one.
Yes.
Unless you took that money and donated it,
Yes. Then
you helped no one.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. You know what a big book that I read that I'm really enforcing this year business wise is a book where you have 5 checking accounts.
Okay.
And every time you get paid, you put a percentage of each check away. And 2 of those accounts are for your taxes and for investments
Okay.
or fund money, whatever you want to do with it. And you can't touch it until each quarter's up. You can't see how much is in there. You don't have a debit card to it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. So like, I just like every check now. I wish I've been doing this my whole career because like you spend. It goes back to the human nature. Like if you have a big plate, you put a lot of food on your plate.
Yeah.
If you have a small plate, you obviously
won't.
don't.
Correct.
Same thing with like toothpaste. Like when you have a brand new tube, you're like, yeah, falls off. You're like, I don't give a shit. But then when you get to the end, you're like,
Yes.
like
Scraping
same
the last
thing with
little bit.
they say like that's just human nature. So you have to force yourself to feel like you have a small tube,
Got it.
but then know that you have a tube in the background. But you can't touch it.
And what is this book called?
I don't know. I'll have to text it to you later.
All right.
It's called I'll let you borrow it.
Okay.
I have it. I'll just drop it off.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a big change. A
Yeah,
big
all
book
of these
to-
things are definitely
But those are the things
that
that
you wanna
like
clean
those are
up.
the things that like I want to teach my agents.
yes.
It's like when I first started, if someone would have taught me that,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have blown all the money I made.
And that's what that is another part that I feel like I can help.
Yeah, you run a
businesses.
business.
You know what I mean? It's
You made
like,
it 8
dude,
years.
Like some of the, like I said earlier, right? Like I would go out and volunteer and test a slew of athletes, but like I had no plan as to
bring
like
'em
what
back
the
in.
hell I was going to do.
What was your
with
call
them
to action?
afterwards.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, I just got 150 kids, but then like I didn't do a damn thing with
No,
them.
there's no email campaign.
Nothing.
There's no
Hey,
collecting
nothing. There's
information.
150, boom, a ton of work for me to do on the back end.
There's no,
And that's it.
There's no like touch follow up with them.
Nothing, dude.
Yeah.
Like absolutely nothing. So like knowing to set up the Zapiers and the MailChimps and the follow-ups and like that's
Just a
stuff that's
weekly, dude.
important.
Yeah,
That stuff's important.
Email's back, dude. I don't care what anyone says, dude.
Me either.
Email is back. I get 50% open rate with 4,000 people. Like it's
That's
back.
good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And even just knowing how to
do it.
monitor those metrics and have an idea of like, what the heck should my cost of a lead look like?
Yeah.
You know, if I want to put on this event, like what needs to be the base
cost.
cost?
Yeah.
You know what
Is the
I'm
goal
saying?
to make money? Is the goal
Like,
just
what
to
am
get
I trying to do with this?
Yeah.
Do I have an event structure? Are there certain things that I'm going to do? But Adam, I
Am
never
I selling?
gave
Am I selling merch?
a damn about any of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so making it this far without really thinking about any of that type of stuff is, you know,
The hard part is I think you
amazing.
get so busy in the day to day that it's so hard to think
Yes,
about the future.
To think about these bigger things.
Bigger
like, okay,
things.
well, quarterly. Okay, let's have
A quarterly event. Oh, dude,
quarterly
that's
event.
I've never done quarterly client events, and this year I was like, we're doing
You know, I
3
wanna
events.
do a freaking holiday party for my coaches, like, but I just never do
It's
it.
just one more thing to add to the list.
Yes, you know,
And
but,
you would,
but they
and you
deserve
could, and you
that.
could do it easy,
Like,
man. You could
but
do
they
it.
deserve
You
that
could do it
stuff.
at your shop.
Exactly. Like
And
we
cater
have
food.
everything. Like we have everything.
And just
it's just
put it in-
like we got to get it off the
Yeah.
ground, you know. But like I love each and every one of those people that come into my facility,
Yeah.
and I want them to know that, and I want to celebrate you. You know what I mean? Like I appreciate all of the deposits that
Yeah.
any person has ever put into that place. Like it's made it what it is.
Yeah.
Like that is why when people walk into that door, it doesn't feel like any other place in here, and that's just a testament to the quality of people.
The hard
that
part is
we-
you're probably
we
at a
bring
point
about.
where you need an assistant.
I need an assistant.
Yeah.
For sure.
The hard part is you have to like. I remember when I got my coach at the time was like, you need your first assistant, and I'm like, how am I gonna afford $5,000 a month? Like I remember sitting there and being like, I don't have it. I don't have that much money. Like,
and that's really what I sit here and tell myself too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's ways.
well, it's like I just hired another one.
Yeah.
That was another $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like how do we?
And I mean, not need them like every damn day, but I definitely I need an assistant. You know, I run around and do a bunch of stuff
that you don't need to be doing.
that I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. The hard issue is that you have to start realizing, okay, it's for me personally, and I haven't been taking advantage of it. It's like, if I am going to have someone to do my daily task, what am I filling that time with to make more revenue?
Absolutely.
And that is the
To
hard part.
validate it.
Yeah. So that's the hard part. It's okay. Okay. All right. Now I have all this free time. I could easily go play golf
Yeah.
and drink.
Yeah.
But like, what am I doing that is going to bring more revenue?
Yes.
And you have to like, because it can easily get away from you, where you're like, oh, I have all this free time, blah, 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 and then you
Yes.
don't do anything, and then
Yes.
you're like, oh shoot, we're like not
Man,
making
now
any
I'm
revenue.
done.
Yeah, now
now
I got
I'm
a
done.
fire start on me.
Yeah.
So that's like that hard part is like, okay, what else should I be doing
Correct.
to make more money?
Yes.
That's more money making items and not
Yes.
wasting time.
And that's where we wanted to kind of diversify the stream. Trying to do some online stuff, so as we bring clients on, they automatically go into like a hybridized environment where you're training 1 day or 2 days with us, and then you have other days that are
Online
delivered
training
right
you can do
to,
from home.
to your phone.
Yeah.
That are tailored to your season, whether it's in season baseball, overhead. But there's a bunch of different programs that we can kind of distribute and program it in a sense that it's like our fingerprint. So we include some of the fascial stuff that we do and the other warm-ups and just like make that experience never go away. Like, how can I get another opportunity to kind of continue to work with you and validate what we're doing, such that these things become staples of your training career, even well after we're done, right? Like that is my number one thing is the results don't just come because you work here in our facility. Like, we can generate these results and show that it happens all the time because our system is in place and you understand our system. So having those instances to educate and train and provide the why to people, like, why do we do this? We do this because da-da-da-da-da. And I feel like we get much better buy-in when they understand why we're asking you to do certain stuff, you know, because some of the stuff we do is definitely like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
But if it makes you feel better and you move better, you're going to play better, you're going to perform better. And ultimately, that's our
And
job.
the crazy part is when you get older, it's just moving better.
Yes. And that's at the end of the day, that's the number one deal. Is like, we want to build resilient humans.
Yeah.
That is our deal. And we want those resilient humans to be phenomenal athletes, but you can't be a phenomenal athlete without being a resilient human.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure that that's at the forefront of everything that we do. So we turn you into a good moving human first, then we turn you into an athlete, and then eventually you're not going to be an athlete anymore, and you're going to still be a good moving human. And that is our journey, you know. And I feel like that's kind of what I always keep in my mind is I'm trying to help this person wherever they may fall in this continuum. That I'm trying to make you a better.
Well, the hard issue is the number of people that are going to go and play in college and going to go play in the professional is such a small number.
It dwindles.
That it's like if you're banging on that idea that's only you're going to coach and that's going to be the outcome. You're
crazy.
It's such a small number.
It's crazy. You limit so much, and while it could be very lucrative and it could be very rewarding, I really feel like the population that I rock with, that is my purpose. That's who I'm supposed to be working with, you know, and they have fulfilled my life like beyond measure, you know, and it just keeps getting better. I think as we kind of refine this process and figure out how we can kind of better serve, that population will benefit highly. Yeah. You know,
well, and especially nowadays, it's like, you know, when we were kids, like you just went out and played.
Yes,
like I didn't have a coach.
You know, I didn't have a trainer.
I had no trainer.
I didn't have periodized program.
No, literally, I had Jack in the Box every day, and
straight up,
I'd just go run.
Dude, I remember on the back of our tickets to varsity football games were freaking Carl's Jr.
Gift the coupons.
Yes. And I would punish those double Western bacon cheeseburgers, bro. Like, oh my gosh. Crazy.
Now that I think about like what I used to eat back then, if I would have just maybe like ate better.
Yes.
Maybe
what would have happened?
Yeah,
you know?
true.
What would have happened?
Even just like in general, like in life, like it's such a, like you don't process like what you're eating and how that it does affect you.
Yes.
It really does.
It does. It does, from inflammation to just, so much stuff. There was actually, Coach Drew invited one of his coaching friends, Nicole, and she came and gave a little seminar on like gut health, right? Like, and so all of these things that nobody gave a damn about that when we were kids.
Yeah.
You know, there was no gut health. There was no probiotics.
But is food different now?
I think so.
I think, dude, I feel like food is like shittier in the last 25 years.
Yeah, I agree.
There's so many more fat people.
There
and
is.
It has to be. I don't think people got lazier.
No.
It has to be the food.
I think, it's a combination of both. I think portion wise, people have been led to believe that they need way more than they really need.
That's why when people go, I can't do intermittent fasting, I'm like, try it.
Yeah.
You won't be as hungry as you think you're gonna be.
I think half of it is that, right? Like you're led to believe that you need to have this massive amount of food. The other part is you can have calories delivered to you
so
without
fast
lifting
now.
a finger. You know, like if our ancestors wanted to eat,
you had to go search
5,000 calories.
Yeah, it worked.
That's a day and a half, 3 days of journey. You know what I'm saying?
Or just even like our parents.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there wasn't that many. You at least had to get in the car or walk somewhere to go get the food.
Yeah.
Now it's like
now
you don't even leave
just
the couch.
Boom, 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 boom,
I will say I've never ordered DoorDash a day in my life.
Oh,
I won't do it. I
sure.
stand by it. I will not do it. No, thank you.
Yeah,
Never
I've
again.
definitely done it.
Yeah.
It was.
I have Adrian. I don't need to do DoorDash. Yeah,
that's different. It's a personal dash.
Personal dash.
Personal dasher.
No, man. I just think it's been awesome, dude. I mean, how many years have we known each other now? I feel like 2017.
Sheesh. Yeah, I think 2017 was when we first met.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I always appreciate you having me out.
I'm excited for you, dude.
Yeah, let's keep
I
growing
feel like
this
you're
thing.
in a different transition now.
I agree. I'm definitely, I feel it. And I'm trying to kind of, I guess, having these conversations, you kind of tell people.
Well, hard to, do you feel like you don't have enough people around you doing those things so you can't really feed off of them or have certain conversations?
I think some of it is the coaches that are available to me are very new in their careers.
So they're in a different place.
So they're like, I remember when I first started this, right? Like I wanted to make sure I was programming properly, you know, and it was like programming. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't.
You know what I mean? It doesn't even matter. We can have a nice, perfect program, and I just have to drive the intent. And so that has really helped me kind of say, well, look, you know what the heck you're doing. just go do it.
Yeah.
Coachability that's the most important thing that I can offer a new coach. Get on the floor and coach. Learn what you like, learn what you didn't like. But you're not gonna be me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've come to grips with that. Like, nobody is gonna be me. And do they need to be me to be successful?
No,
not at all. And if I can convey to them that I trust them, I believe in you, and I can convey to the parents that this person is safe, they have your child's best interest in mind, they are formidable in developing XYZ quality. And so that's what I'm trying to figure out is like, okay, well, this person rocks well with this population. Check, you're going to keep that population. Here's another group of kids that we can kind of rock with. I need to find somebody that can kind of do both or whatever the hell it is. I want to put them and cast them into situations where they can be successful. I don't want to cast you into a situation where you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So figuring out the ways of, okay, here's a youth developmental class. Here's a kind of intermediate. You had a training, regimen of 6-7 months. You're ready to kind of get out of the Devo group. This is what we're going to do there. Okay. Now we're at like, this kid has aspirations to go play collegiately. Here's some of the stuff that we should kind of be focusing on here as we get them ready to transition into like a strength conditioning world of collegiate athletics. But having those set pathways, like I said, I didn't think about this stuff. I just had clients and it was like, okay, I'm going to train this kid. But from a delegation standpoint, I need to figure out like what ascension is going to look like. Here's our entry level. Okay, we onboard, we assess you, we give you your results. Now we have an idea of what buckets we need to fill. Okay, your force deficient here, your technical qualities over here, kind of weak. But where are we going to get the most bang for our buck? Because maybe I have you for 3 months. That's kind of the longevity. Okay, if we do really, really awesome and I can convince you that these 3 months you had astronomical gains, okay, let's couple that with another 3 months, 6 months annually. But that to me, I needed to quantify that stuff. Because I can tell this to the parent and I can show you, hey, your kid got faster. But if I can show the kid every damn day, every week, what our programming is doing for you, well, they buy in. And they are the most heavily.
Well, because if they don't want to if they're at home and they don't want to go.
Yeah, they're not
going to come. Their kids are going to be like, I don't want to go.
Yeah, they're not going to come. But if I show them and they're like, they influence parents way more than I do. If they're like, Dad, I got to get back to Adam.
Yeah. I love this.
I got to go back to Animal House, whatever it may be. Like, that's money. Like, that is what drives it. And they don't give a damn who is there. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. It's like, okay, who can help me get to that point? And at the same time, I want to value these people such that they feel like they're wanted and their job is necessary, and they don't feel like I'm taking advantage of them. And so that is also another part of it, right? Like, how much do I pay a person? Like, what should they get initially? Like, what are their steps of, as you get more responsibilities, what does my pay scale start to look like? All of these things that I never had the answers to. I still don't have the damn answers to. But very much in a place where I want to make that happen more so than I've ever been before. And that's been a nice feeling. You know what I mean? Before it was like, I'm going to do everything and I'm going to figure it out no matter what. Yeah. To the point where like now, like, dude, I want to take vacations. Yeah. I want to chill. I want to kick it. Yeah. The grind don't stop. That's not a phrase I live by anymore. Yeah. The grind stops, and I'm asleep and I'm a chill. Yeah. and that's really, I'm gonna grind smarter though, and I'm trying to figure that part out.
Yeah, it just takes time, and it's all about like the hard issue too is like we have the same issue with people coming here and they want certain splits and yes. And then I might be like, well, okay, like you want this split, awesome, cool, awesome, great, nothing. Yeah. Good to know. Awesome. Yeah. And then I go like, you on average are going to make me say $16,000 this year. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. After taxes, it's probably 12. Yeah. Sweet. So do you think you're worth $1,000 a month to me? Yeah. Yes or no? And if the answer is no, then you have your answer. Because that's what things people don't realize. It's like you're taking, most people don't know what they're worth per hour. Yeah. So I was talking to the kids on the podcast today, and I was like, I do it only this day, and this is the only day I do it. And they're like, why is that? And I go, because every time I do one, it takes me an hour at least. Yes. I was like, I know how much I make an hour. Yes. I was like, so this podcast is not free to do. It
Correct.
costs me blank amount of dollars.
Correct.
So it's like, if someone wants to take up my time and you're lower than my average cost per
average
hour,
rate,
my
yeah.
average rate. So it's like, I'm sorry, but I just can't justify that.
Yes.
Sorry about
For
your
sure.
luck.
For sure.
Or we can charge that, but then you get me 1 hour a week.
Yes.
And then your hourly rate would meet my hourly rate.
Correct.
Cool.
Correct.
It's nothing personal. I think
No.
that's something people get. It's like, I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm not trying to, I want to make so much money. It's like, there's a cost of running business.
Yes.
And there's a cost of my sanity. And that's what the cost is.
Correct.
And I get to determine what that cost is.
You
do not
absolutely
get to determine the cost is.
Absolutely so.
That's why people are like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yep.
If you don't want to, that's fine. You can go somewhere else.
Straight up.
I'm not the cheapest person in town.
No.
No worries.
As you should not be.
Mazel tov. Good luck. Great.
Yes.
Then these are the like I have 2 assistants, so you don't have to do that. My clients have to do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that costs. I had to pay those people.
I got to do some stuff for them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I got to do some stuff.
Well, I'm excited for you, dude.
Likewise.
Awesome.
It's been good catching up.
Same. How do people? Maybe need a caffeine today. How do people find you? How do people look you guys up?
Check us out on Instagram, Animal House Fitness, for all your health and wellness needs.
Awesome, guys. Make sure you go follow them, like them, share their stories, and until next time, guys, peace.
Peace.